Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sarah and this is Under the Stars with Sarah, where I do videos on art journaling and astrology and a few other things in between. So in this video, I'm just going to be showing you my journal setup for 2026, where at the start of the year, I like to have a word as the theme for the year. And this year I am going for the word diva. Now, why the word diva? Diva has had a bad rap as a word. It has negative connotations of a woman who wants too much, is too demanding. Um, it's often associated with the prima donna, the leading lady from Italian opera. And for me, this year is about becoming more visible, and starting a YouTube channel is one way of doing that. And I'm trying to embody my inner Elizabeth Taylor or Joan Collins and putting more content out on social media and sharing what I know. I released a book, Astrology Made Easy, your astronomical and astrological insights into Vedic and Western astrology. And I think as women, sometimes we can feel a little bit vulnerable doing that. And so I'm trying to use the most um, extreme version of confidence and kind of going for what after they want. And so I'm going for the word diva, I'm claiming it back, and I'm giving myself unlimited diva credits this year to feel a bit demanding and awkwardly trundle myself out into the spotlight a little bit more. So even though there's no face on this video, I will get there at some point. And yeah, so I'd love to know what your word for 2026 is. And when I start a journal, I like to put that at the front and center. So my aim is like for each year, if I've got a journal, this is my journal for the year to try and complete the whole thing. And setting up with a word at the front just kind of puts a nice little headline under things. So let's get underway. First things first, cup of tea. Um, We are, what we're on the 2nd of January now. It's coming to flu season and we're getting late into the evening here. So it's just a little herbal concoction that I've whipped up for myself there. Some raspberry leaf and a few other things. So let's just move that out of the way. There we go. Hmm. What kind of tea do you like to drink when you are doing crafty things? Doesn't have to be tea. Could be something a little bit, could be something a little bit stronger. Oh, there we go. It's better. Right, wet the whistle. So here is my new journal. It is a B, oh, what is it? A B5, B6, something like that. It's a bit smaller than an A4. And just for comparison, this is A4 card, and it works quite well because you can kind of get the most out of the A4 paper as well, so you can use it landscape as well, so you don't have that join across, and also you can make a nice border as well. So I find that this size notebook, if I remember the size of it, is ideal, particularly because most supplies come in A4. So what is my plan? To be honest, I don't really often have one. I just grab a few things and start throwing them down and just kind of working intuitively as to what I might do. But as my word is diva, I was thinking, well, I'm going to need a bit of sparkle for this. Um, and having black as the main background is going to work well as contrast to whatever sparkly things I've done. And I have dug out from my paper stash, card stash, um, some sparkly things, some sparkly card. Now I can't tell you where this is from. I'm quite fortunate. I live near it's gold on the back as well. I live near a fantastic charity shop and they get vast amounts of donations of crafty products. Probably, I say, from souls that are no longer with us. And so um, I have been able to go there and raid their stash of not just sort of crafty supply things, but also those that have like fabric and knitting and cross stitch and all sorts of things. So I'm feeling drawn towards just thinking what else I've got here. I do like these coppers, but I feel like it feels like a poor relation to gold. And I feel like gold is a little bit too brassy. So I'm gonna keep these silvers out, but these aren't going far away. And I've got some a kind of grey, sort of more metal gun silver as well. Let's keep these silvers out and stick those over there. And I think I'm going to cut out the word diva in bold letters because that will work nicely with two on each side if I do a double page spread. And then I also found I don't know what possessed me at the time, but I'm going to have to do a little bit of sort of covering up some of the underlay here. I found some body artwork, Diamante body bedazzling things here. So I think I may have a go at, oh crikey, as well, I have a scandalous on the back, but yeah, that's a sort of, well, gosh, how many packs would you need to do that? I might have a play with those later in the build, just put those to one side. Um, so first things first, let's just get a contrast background. Now, let's just see if I've got it to one hand. Yes, this is my absolute must-have in any crafty kit, and that is double-sided tape because I hate it when you glue something down and it goes all wrinkly. So if you're looking to get stuck in with things in the paper craft space, I recommend getting some double-sided tape. This one it's called Ultra Tape. I'm going to assume it's a brand called Rhino because it's got a picture of a rhino on the inside. I don't think you can really see that. But yeah, and for that. So let's just start with this card. It's the same on both sides, so I don't need to worry about there being a right and a wrong side. Um, I was looking back at a previous journal when my word was, I don't know if I had one for 2025. I was doing a course around this time last year and reading a lot. So art journaling wasn't quite so much the focus it's been in previous years, but 2024, it was sovereign. And I definitely managed to get a little bit more in that space. In how I feel. And then the year before that was resonance. Um, so again, kind of getting into alignment and claiming back some autonomy in life because we can give a lot and sometimes it feels like we don't get a lot back. And with art journaling, I feel like it's quite a safe space to come to where with whatever your job is, whatever your families are up to, maybe you're looking after a lot of people, maybe your work isn't, because a lot of us do just have to have a job just to make ends meet. And I've got responsibilities, and maybe it's not quite what we want to do, but we can take back a little bit of control and autonomy in other ways. So this is where art journaling has kind of been the um, sanity space for me. Um, so there we go, that's that stuck down. Probably could have put a bit in the middle there, but I like to leave a little bit of um, space there because it is going to fold over at some point. So it looks all nice and flat now, but it won't be in a couple of hours. These are also really handy to have, bulldog clips. You can get a whole box of them of different sizes, and that will just help keep things down and flat whilst you're crafting away. Mm. Oh, that's really nice too. Mm. Okay, right. What's next? So let's put that to one side. Got my base there. Now I am going to prepare my letters. So let's just select which. Let's see, I'm probably only going to need one sheet. These are pretty similar. This is more like card. It's like sort of a oily paper. Yeah. And this one, oh, it's got a little bit more glitter to it than the other ones. So I might go for that one. Because more is more when it comes to being a diva, and I'm not going to apologise for that. So let me just work out the best way to do this because if I draw on that side, it's going to be the long way around. So well, let's see, does this come out enough for me to see it? So you might not be able to see this on the camera when I do it, but I'm going to just write out Diva in what kind of letters should I do? I'd kind dry or cursive one. Have I got enough to do two? That's a bit of now the problem with picking the word diva is that I just have that Beyonce song go through my head every time I say it. She goes, no, no, no. Diva is a. I don't think I can really do any more than that. Otherwise, the old YouTube algorithm will pick up. Not that I sound anything like Beyonce, but okay. We might do alternative kind of letters. So I just probably can't see this because of the light, but just going to draw out Diva in big kind of swirly letters. Stop cutting that out. If you know any good songs that embody diva, aren't necessarily that one, because even though it does have diva in the title, it's not quite capturing the vibe that I'm after. So I'm going to cut this out. And probably speed this bit up a bit. As exciting as it is, watching someone with a pair of scissors. Okay. They all fit on like that. Yes, they will. And I need a little. Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Now I'm just going to. I didn't cut exactly on my lines. Move some of those just to. That's not really much. Let's try this one. Mm-hmm. It'll probably be the only time I've ever seen use the rubber. And the razor for our friends across the pond. Rubber means something quite different over there. And how those terms play out differently. Diva. Now here is where we could possibly glue these down, but yeah, this is quite thin paper. Then go back to our old reliable, the double-sided tape. It's been one of the best valued items that I've bought. It's been going quite a few years now, that roll of tape, and you use it a fair bit. Yeah, it's definitely good value for money. I don't think I got that. I don't think I got that on Amazon either. Pretty sure I got that in a local kind of little hardware store nearby. It sells all sorts of bits and bobs. Uh, shape. Who drew these letters? I was tempted to use glitter. No, I've got a pot of it to the side, but I've learned from past experiences, not some mistakes, that if you're going to use glitter, you have to be really committed. A bit like with using this tape, because once it makes contact, that's pretty much it. There's no going back. So I'm just aware of the crease there, so I'm just going to try and get the bottom half of this V more on the right hand side. Points if you know that tune. It's not to do with Diva, but it does rhyme with that, which is why I think I have got a little earworm in my head, even though I've not heard it in years. Show my age a little bit there as well. All right, final one. If you are a fan of having acrylic nails or even gel nails, you will probably find getting the backs off double-sided tape near impossible. I have had gels on before and acrylics, and it's really hard to lift. You might be right with regular nail varnish. Have I got enough room to fit Diva on? Have I got enough room to be a Diva? Yes, we have. Doesn't matter if it goes over. We're not here for perfection. We're here for the fun, which is why my desk is not super neat and tidy. I've seen so many amazing YouTubers who have absolutely perfectly manicured desks, and everything is just looks like a showroom. I wish I could be asked, but you can. Life is messy. My desk is messy, and this is a big improvement on what it was. Because now I have to have at least have space to film it without anything too incriminating around it. Okay, so la 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 diva. Um, don't throw away your scraps of paper. Get a little dedicated box to keep it. I mean, that's some things are just not, you know, too small to do anything too much with, but they are quite handy to have because you might find yourself doing a crafty page at some point and you're after just a small bit of something. And I quite like doing crafty things with these small bits because it forces you to think about how to use that and assemble things from what otherwise would have been thrown in the bin. I mean, yeah, don't be a Puritan about it, but it just cuts back on a bit of waste and makes use of things. I'm just gonna, this got caught when I was, so I'm just gonna do a little snip, a little snipoo, that little bit of extra eye because I don't want that getting caught every time I open it. And I have to make that a bit smaller. That's really fit me. Oh, ah, we are down. So, I mean, that is nice, but I'm still not getting Diva. I'm still not getting Diva. We're gonna need a bit more bling, I think. So, but this border is troubling me. What about getting my tape drawer? I've got some kind of sparkly washi tape, which is also, I'd say, a must-have. Stickers. Don't think any of them are really gonna. No, I'm really cutting the mustard. I'm screaming out Diva to me. Got some gold paint. could use that. Some other tones of sort of metallics as well. Now I've got a silver. Hmm, really, it's probably the most complimentary tone, but I know this comes out a lot brighter. I did have silver. Where did it go? The art supplies. One day I'll show you. One day I will show you and confess. Oh, that's a lot. That's good. That's the thing when you're creative, you can't be creative and tidy. The two just aren't compatible. It is just not. It's a no go. Give up. Maybe I'm sure there's anything left in that. A highly creative person is an oxymoron. Exist. Maybe a writer. Maybe a writer would be quite tidy, but I feel like for the creative juices to be flowing, there's needed to be a little bit messy. Oh, I did get some Posca pens the other day. That one of which was a silver. I've lost them already. Only had for 5 minutes. That's classic me. I think I might go along with the silver paint for now, just because if I find the silver pen, the black one. I found some of them. Ah, okay. Should be another one. Ah, right. Tea. Do you feel more drawn to keeping to the silver? I'm not sure there's going to be enough in here. I'm sure I can get it off. No, that is gone. That's dead. Let's try this one. This paint is over. When did I use it? I did it when I did GCSE art, so that was the best part of 20 years ago. More than that, 25 years ago. So Della Rowney, and I've not been opening it very often, but it's still moist and plenty of life in it. So I'm gonna go with the gold. And what I might do is just to have a nice crisp edge, use a bit of washi tape. Now, if you've not used washi tape before, it's a bit like masking tape in terms of like the sort of texture of it. I'll hold that up there to the camera a little bit. You can kind of see it's got a papery like texture to it, and it's got a tackiness to it. But masking tape would likely damage the paper again if you lifted it up. Oh, there's a gold there already. Right, we're going to leave it there. Whereas I'm pretty confident if I wanted to lift this washi tape up, it wouldn't have damaged the paper below it too much. And they come in an infinite amount of designs and patterns, and it's great stuff. So I'm going to use a bit of this cat one here just to give this paper a bit of a border. And this is where having the little dots is really handy as well, because I can make sure that I'm getting things straight. Washi tape also tears really easily as well, so you don't need to worry about having scissors to hand. Feels like this is a waste of tape, but I've got so much of it. And it's pretty cheap stuff. I've even seen it in supermarkets now here in the UK. So, although I probably would have got this on Amazon. I'm spending way too much on Amazon. Right, got a bit of a border there. That also will stop it. So if you paint over to the edge of something, sometimes the paint will kind of bleed under and around. So that just stops that from occurring. There we go. Might as well have a bulldog clip. Let's keep that attached down again. And I think I'm also going to attach this edge of this black card as well. Maybe. Or maybe I just go with it there and then, oh, have I got enough on this to do that? Maybe. This is some gold foil tape. Let's say it's washi tape, but it's probably came in a pack with other washi tape things as well. Or I might have bought another whole stack of colours. I've got some black electrical tape as well. Quite handy. Thin edge. That's what we've got going on here. Oh, so it's tape. We'll work with that. Maybe put the black to hand. Maybe, but for now, I am just going to eyeball this. And it might be that I do a gold edge there and then black on the outline, because I'm going to have space with this border, and this tape is really thin. So I'm just going to go straight in. Don't want to water it down. Don't want to be putting water on the paper. Let's see how we get on. Might need a little bit dry. Ooh, was able to get away with that. Oh, hang on, I have some water here. Voila. Just get it going a bit. See how we get on. I'm not going to worry about it too much, because if we don't like it, we can always change it. And being 100% the boss of this art journal, that's my privilege. So I'd always done art journaling and art at school, and even trained to be a landscape architect, but that didn't quite work out. So I'd always done creative type things, and dabbled over the years, in all sorts of things. And can I get that brush underneath that card? Yes, just about. And going through a bit of a difficult patch. really needed to have something that I had 100% creative control on. Um, if you are feeling a little bit like you can't, because times are tough right at the moment, yeah, like they are difficult. Inflation's really high, the cost of everything is super expensive. Um, Salaries haven't gone up. If you're, I mean, now it's, you can say you've got to say that, if you're lucky enough to have a job, and then if you're really lucky, you'll have a job that you enjoy and kind of can feel like you're going somewhere. But sometimes you just get stuck in something that doesn't really, light you up. And, there are jobs out there that do just unfortunately need to be done. I don't think anyone woke up and thought, "Do you know what, I really want to empty the bins. That's what I want to do." However, those sorts of jobs are made palatable by their terms and conditions. Um, and even that sort of job might work for someone because they're a morning person. So, I mean, it's a very broad generic statement there. Please do not be offended if if you are a bin collector and you like what you do, because sometimes it can be the people that you work with, or you might enjoy the autonomy of that. I can see there's an appeal in that way, but I'm speaking of generalizations here. But back to my point on the benefits of doing a bit of art journaling for sanity saving is that when, I can't control a lot of things, but I can control where I put my attention and my focus. And if I weave in a little bit of the astrology, that I'm also really into, Uranus is in sidereal Taurus at the moment, and that is the correct astronomical placements of the planets. So if you're familiar with um, Western astrology, I'm afraid you are incorrect. And you are 2,000 years out of date, because since then the Earth has wobbled on its axis due to the push and pull and gravitational pull of the other planets around it. And, you know, it's like a spinning top. The axis of the Earth has moved a bit, and consequently the zodiac appears to move backwards. It hasn't literally moved backwards. The stars are still where they were before, but the viewing platform we're looking at them on has. So in terms of one thing that we can control, and that is our attention, and this very much aligns with our values, and Taurus represents our values, not just in terms of commodities, but also in our beliefs. And because Taurus also represents finances, it's what you have, it's what you, so things you consume as well. Um, so one way to take a little bit of control back and demonstrate your values, or to reflect on your values, of Uranus being there at the moment, that just kind of underlines it in terms of something that's going on. And in the Vedic system, we don't use the outer planets as such, but they're kind of getting woven in more and more these days, because they sort of reflect a bit more with what's going on in society. So Uranus is a strange planet. It represents oddities, eccentrics, um, innovation. So it being a Taurus can represent a lot about crypto and digital currencies. And in that space, again, is that something, that's a values question. You can see the price of gold has gone through the roof, and will continue to go up, according to financial pundits that I've listened to. Don't take that as financial advice, but it's all that way you can seek other views for yourself. I do think about, I'm going to be sharing some more things about integrating astrology and into your life as a framework, incorporating um, tools from my job in leadership and professional development coaching. So I'll be combining astrology with evidence-based and coaching type practices so that you've got the astrology there as a framework, but then some practical tools as to how you might think of that. And one of them is thinking about your values. And, yes, this is on YouTube. Yes, you can see this. Yes, there are adverts. But hopefully, like, I guess my aim is that, it just inspires you a bit to grab a journal or even make your own. And I've been showcasing materials when doing this. And people don't have a lot of money at the moment, but I will be showing you other ways to get creative with stuff. So, you can that's the thing about like this and what I find quite heartening is that even if you haven't got much to work with, even if it's only the backs of a cereal box or a biro, sometimes having fewer materials at your disposal makes you more creative because you are restricted. And so that makes you think more creatively as well. So I'll probably do that. I would definitely do that as a challenge. It's something that I have done in the past as well, is where I've done, so like a 30-day, like a month challenge, and I can only use like one thing or maybe two materials like a biro or an ink pen. And how many ways can I use that with things that might just be laying around the house as well? So, you know, I've had a tube of paint for over 25 years as well. Yeah, it'd be amazing what you can dig out and find. And the charity shops are a great place to go for art materials, crafting materials, if you've got some of them nearby, for a fraction of what they would be new. Um, so this is just an acrylic paint. It's drying pretty quickly and a bit more, I thought it was going to be a bit thicker. It's a bit more sheer than I initially thought it would be. Well, that's fine. We can just put a little bit more on top as well. And it's a little, the paper is going to buckle a little bit because I have had to wet it a bit to kind of get rid of some of these. See here, these sort of dark patches here where I put more paint on, but I think they are pretty much embedded now. So anyway, we'll let that just dry for a moment, even that out a bit. So yeah, one of my values that I've tried to embody more recently is using Amazon less. Not naive, it's not going to go anywhere, but for Christmas I did get everyone's presents on the high street, supporting smaller local businesses. So, things like that can just to bring your attention to it. So with Uranus being, in Taurus, it's bringing our attention to our values. It also is like unexpected surprises as well. So yeah, Uranus is a planet of shocks and surprises. Um, kind of call it, think of it as like a lightning strike. Um, you know when a storm's coming, but you don't necessarily know where the lightning will strike. Um, but it's coming. Excuse me. Mm. So, oh, tea, anything left in the pot? It's left there. Ooh, very brewed now. Right, I've got this little fleck here of gold. It's really annoying. I might be able to scrape it off. Um, Once it's dried. It's not dried already, actually. Another must have for any burn of, oh, it's not actually a spot, it's a, it was a flake from when it had that dried from when I opened it. So I like that, it's going to be dried pretty soon. Now, let's get these out of the packet before I bend YouTube too much with its scantily clad ladies. Um, and bejazzled bodies and boobies. You know, just get them out, a little bit more innocent out of the packet. I've got these here. Pretty cool. They are pretty much just, I can't really separate them, I don't think. I might be able to with a scalpel. Or I might stick it on the front. Maybe not like that, but maybe put one of them on the front. Hmm. Hmm. Not feeling those just yet. Maybe we should stick with the tape. So where's this water tape? Do I want to have the right border? Let's take the original tape up and see what we're left with. She said that it wouldn't damage the paper, but it has. That's annoying. No, this bit's okay. That bit not okay. That bit. No, maybe because I wet it a bit too much. Well, this one is coming up a bit more evenly. I'm not ripping the paper underneath it so much. Well, beware if you do want to do something like this with washi tape. You might damage the paper underneath it. So this is 200-gram paper, so it's quite, there's peeled a bit there, but it's not completely destroyed it. It's thick underneath. Even that top one again. Okay. Oh well. There we go. Right, what we got now? Diva. Hmm. too bad. Still not. I'm getting more theatre vibes than diva vibes. Divas is probably a bit more. Where should I put this coupled edging? Mm, in the middle. In the middle, on the edge, on the edge. Feeling it's going to work better on in the middle of this fold, actually. Notice what I said there. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. We spend so much time in our heads thinking about stuff, analysing this, that, and to that. Doing a little bit of crafting, whatever that be. And be a real solve to the old noggin. Yes, we are so disconnected from our bodies at times. It can be really hard to bring ourselves back into balance. So again, if you are feeling a little bit, well, I'll say under the weather, but feeling a little bit down in the dumps or feeling a little bit blue, maybe join me in doing a little bit of art journaling. This is a bit annoying. Oh, it's not quite as thick at the top as it is on the bottom, on the sides. Oh well, never mind. Goal here is not to create the word art. I have mixed feelings about the word art. Who decides what art is? You know, is what painting. It's some paint on some canvas or some board or on the ceiling or something. You know, art, I suppose, covers all sorts of media. I think that's what people can put people off is that they're, oh, I'm an artist. No one was asking you to be. I'm not asking you to be an artist. I'm not asking me to be an artist. I'm just giving myself permission to have a play. Take back control of one thing anyway. Because I am, like I said at the start, I am 100% boss of this art journal. No right or wrong. It's only myself that I am negotiating with here. And of course, I'm putting them on YouTube and I'm sharing them now. So there is a slight difference in that. Explaining what I'm doing. But it can be quite meditative as well. When you really get into something, particularly if you're into drawing, and colouring or stuff like that. Now, my A is sneaking past my border here. Do I want to keep it there or not? No, it's going to go. So I am going to chop this out. That's going to leave the little gap there where there's a gap in the gold. No, so we're going to leave it because I don't want to have to get the paint out again and fix it. Now I am thinking of this very thin black, I think it's electrical tape. Why did I get it? Oh, I used to do some facilitating, and this was going to be to divide a space up if need be, but to put on the floor. This is pretty thin stuff. Yeah, I think if I wanted to lift this up, it probably wouldn't damage the paint too much. How's that looking? Too bad. I'm using some of these metallic materials and bouncing back on the light a bit. Anyone get the tune right? I wonder. I was humming just then. I'll have to have a look in the comments. I quite like that, taking it off the edge. I am going to put that under. I'll do this at the top. That just makes it feel a little bit more complete. It's been wonderful to do this little bit of art journaling with you all. I'm probably going to start doing some of these live at some point, but just getting to grips with the old tech. It's not normally too much of a problem. So for me, putting aside perfectionism on video content and banishing comparisonitis has been my challenge. To get going with this. It's tough, right? You know, so many people have done some really good stuff and you think, oh, I can do that. Oh, this is perfect. How neat and kind of, what's the word? You know, you'd buy it if it was if it was for sale. That's them. That's not me. About process and just having a go, and it makes you feel better. It helps you get your brain in order. Oh, wonderful. Anything else is a bonus. Okay, so voilà. Here is my word for 2026. Diva. May get some more additions as we go through the year, but I'm pretty pleased with that. So just some black cards, some silver paper, bit of gold paint, bit of gold tape, some black tape, and that is now on the front of my journal. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in other videos. My name is Sarah, and this is my channel, and so it starts with Sarah. And if you have any questions about materials I've used or anything else you might like to see, pop a comment below and let me know what your word is for 2026. Have a good day.